Good morning, students. Today we will learn Chapter 7 Diversity in Living Organism Classification. What do you mean by classification? Here on your screen you can see different shapes, different colors. So, in order to group them, you need to classify either according to their color or according to their shapes, which makes you easier to understand more about how many same things are there. Therefore, classification is the process of putting things into group. This can be done for almost anything. Classification makes studying things easier. Most classification is done based on the physical features or physical appearances. Classification can happen on many levels. For living things, the first level of classification is to place organisms into kingdoms. Kingdoms are large group of organisms which share important features with each other. The important characteristics of five-kingdom classification done by a scientist known as Whittaker are as follows: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. This is the five-kingdom classification of Whittaker. Kingdom Monera are single-celled organisms and are the simplest forms of life. Mainly consist of bacteria and blue-green algae. Their chromosomes are not organized into a nucleus. Here are the pictures of the example of Monera. Left hand side you can see it is a bacteria, and towards the right hand side you can see algae. Next kingdom is kingdom Protista. They are unicellular organisms and their chromosomes are organized into a nucleus. Now some Protista includes or contain chloroplast that helps them to produce food. Some Protista, they can absorb and digest the food. In Protista, they move either by flowing the cytoplasm or using their cilia or flagella. Cilia, flagella, etc. are hair-like structure that helps these organisms to move. Examples are unicellular algae, diatoms and protozoans. Kingdom Fungi. They consist of thread-like hyphae, not cells. Some fungi are microscopic, that means you cannot see with your naked eye, and many are macroscopic, that means you can see with your naked eye. Now, in fungi, the nuclei spread through cytoplasm of hyphae. What are hyphae? The thread-like structures of the fungi. Now, fungi cannot produce their own food. Most fungi are saprotrophs, that means they digest dead organic matter and they grow on. You might have seen mushroom, which are fungi which grow on decaying barks of trees. Or you might have even seen bread molds, which are fungi that lives on bread. Now fungi, they reproduce using spores. Fungi are useful in the production of many products such as bread, cheese, and alcohol. A good example that you all are familiar with is yeast. Yeast is a fungi which you use in many food items to ferment the food. Kingdom Plantae. It consists of cells. Vast majority are multicellular organisms. They vary in size from microscopic to huge. As you all know, plants they are macroscopic, and the cells are all made up of cellulose. Plants cells are made up of cellulose, and many cells contain chloroplast, and that is why they are green in color. Now plants produce their own food using the process known as photosynthesis. Now the last kingdom, or the fifth kingdom, is kingdom Animalia, and they are multicellular organisms, as you know, and their cells do not contain cell walls or chloroplast. As you have learned in earlier chapters that chloroplast and cell wall are the characteristic of plant cell. So animals do not possess any cell wall or chloroplast. Classification system. Carl Linnaeus, a scientist, developed the modern classification system for living things. And the classification is as follows: kingdom, phylum, class, subclass, order, family, genus, and species. He worked mainly on plants, but later worked with animals. His system has been refined since. He also developed the idea of binomial naming, or naming of living organism with two names. For example, what is the binomial name of humans? Homo sapiens. What is binomial naming? This is the naming system that we still use today, and it was started ever since many years. Now, species are named by their genus and their species. Regardless of which language is being spoken, the species name remains the same. That means if a particular organism is found in India and the same organism is found in some other place, for example America, the name of the organism or the scientific name of the organism remains the same whether you call it by different local names. Now there are certain rules in writing the name of the species. When writing a species name, it need to be in italics. If handwriting, and this is not possible, so there you will underline the scientific name or the binomial name. The first letter of the genus must be in capital letter and the first letter of the species is in small letter. For example, humans, the scientific name of humans are Homo sapiens. Here you can see that Homo sapiens are written in italics. But if it is written in handwriting, then you should underline the name. You can see there are two parts in this name. First part being Homo. You can see that is the genus name. And the first letter is written in capital. Whereas the second part of the name, sapiens, the first letter or the entire letters are written in lowercase or small letters. Summary. Scientists classify living things to make them easy to study. The first level of classification is to place an organism into one of the 5 kingdoms. Which are the 5 kingdoms? Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. All living things are further classified. All living things are also given a binomial species name, that is, for example, Pan, Troglodytes. Classification is not always easy, and it is sometimes challenging to classify an organism completely. Thank you and have a nice day.